So if you're not a Subaru person or you don't know much about Cobb Accessports, I've had a couple people ask me, you know, what does it mean to flash a new map? So here's the gauge cluster I usually have up monitoring. The center button starts recording to log data from here. And you can configure which data gets logged. But you just go down here, tune, change ECU map. And these files are loaded, obviously just from your laptop. ECU reflash. Here's some of the maps we've been working on. I want this one, 30 PSI version 3 flex fuel. And then it's just going to tell me, you know, make sure I've got enough battery. It needs at least 10 amps. Or, I'm sorry, it says recommends to connect a charger. I never worry about it. It's got a good battery. In the older cars, if it dies or you lose access port connection while flashing the ECU, you can turn it into a brick. The newer ones, I've actually had it happen and disconnected while I was flashing the car, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was easy to recover, fortunately. So, goes through. This is where it actually reflashes the vehicle. And then it's going to have me turn it off, turn it back on. It's pretty straightforward. Like now it says to turn it off. I'm going to click OK. And then it reinitializes the reflash process. It tells me to turn it back on. So when I do that, I wait for all my gauges to initialize. Once they start coming up, I'm going to go back. You say OK. This is where it resets all the learning. And then you're pretty much done. It says turn it off for 15 seconds. And then you hit OK when you're done. It's pretty straightforward. And then this just connects to a USB and a free software that's on my laptop where I can upload the data logs, which are just Excel format files. And then and you configure the columns and rows on the access port, like I said, of what you want to log. And then my tuner makes maps, and Access Tuner sends them back as a different file type. I can't remember what the file type is. It's not something I can open. I don't have Access Tuner Pro. But then you just flash it to the car just like that. This lets you do some other stuff too. Obviously, you've got all your gauge options. Here's some of the parameters that you can log. My configured data logging. There are literally hundreds of parameters that you can set that you wish to log in here. So pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and give her a cold start. Gauges are back up.